guys, so we are starting off this reading vlog on Wednesday. What is today? The 9th. And I have already finished a book since the last time I talked to you guys, which was like a day ago. But I listened all the way through Leah on the Offbeat. I just kind of had that as an audiobook to listen to, and it was a really short one, so I flew right through it. I loved it. It was 4 stars. I read Simon, and I remember really liking it, but honestly, like, I know the basic story. I haven't actually seen the movie yet. I probably will see that whenever it comes out. But I remember liking it, but I don't remember much from it. I just really remember liking the characters in it. I read the upside of Unrequited. I liked it. It wasn't memorable to me, like Simon was, apparently. I don't know. I remember liking Simon more. I loved Leah on the Offbeat. I just loved the group of their friends. They were so real and unique, and I just wanted to be in their group of friends. My favorite part of that was Leah's voice. I really, really enjoyed reading from a teenager's perspective who is very self-aware. I feel like there's a lot of like kind of glossed over naivete and just kind of obliviousness in the internal voice of a lot of teens, which yes, we are oblivious as teens, that's very true. But I feel like Leah was very aware of herself and how she was in a lot of situations, which was really refreshing to read about. Like, she was aware of the fact that she was being a bitch and like couldn't control it, and she was aware that she's nerdy and that she's kind of different and she's okay with it. Like, she has all of the insecurities that teenagers have, but she's kind of embracing them, and it's just, I don't know, something about it was just very real to me, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a very happy story. Everything about it was just happy and fun. I just liked it. So I gave it 4 stars. I am still currently halfway through Girl Made of Stars. I kind of put that down because I started my buddy read of Mirage, which I am loving so far. I am pretty much exactly halfway through, and I'm about to start the 3rd part, which is for today's reading, and I have a feeling I'm probably gonna cheat and end up finishing this book. I didn't feel super connected to the characters at the beginning, but pretty much halfway through the 2nd chunk, so maybe like a 1/3 of the way into the book, all of a sudden something clicked, kind of some things got revealed, I guess, and all of a sudden the story started moving a lot faster for me. I'm loving the sci-fi mixed with Arabic culture. I'm really enjoying that, and I really like how strong the culture is, even though it's a fantasy story, like none of this is based on truth. I really like how real the cultures seem, and that there's like a very strong pull to them. So I like that. It made Amani being ripped from her kind of culture and family a lot harsher because it was so well established. So I am about to start this 3rd section and most likely finish it tonight. I also just started listening to P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I have only read one other Casey West book, and that was By Your Side. It was okay. I pretty much am on like a binge right now of trying to read through the books that are on my shelf, and I am in such a contemporary kick, which is very rare for me, so I'm gonna take advantage of it while it's happening, because I feel like I go so hard into fantasy for so long that I never want to branch out. So when I do get into like a fluffy mood, I try to get through all of the ones that I can, and contemporaries are very easy for me to read, so I have a feeling I'll probably finish this in like a day or 2. I'm actually listening to it. So that's my goal. Gotta get through this. I just started. I'm like 3 or 4 chapters in. It seems like a contemporary. There's nothing else to say about that. That is going to be it. I believe later this week I start my buddy read for Ash Princess, so there's gonna be a little bit of fantasy, but as of right now, it's mostly contemporary for me. So that is it for today's check-in. Hey guys, so I meant to do a check-in over the past 2 days and I still haven't, so it's a gorgeous day out. It was supposed to be stormy today, so we actually went to the movies and we saw Ready Player One finally, because I still haven't seen it. But we came out and it's like sunny and gorgeous outside, so I figured I would sit out here under this lovely tree and talk to you guys about what I've been reading, because I've gotten through a bunch of stuff since I last checked in. So last I had checked in, I was doing a buddy read for Mirage. I have since finished this. This was a 4-star book. The story itself was not like outstanding. It was very well done, but it told a very important cultural lesson, kind of. Like, it showed a lot about culture and being ripped out of that culture and the effects that it has and how your upbringing can still follow you no matter where you are. So I feel like it had a lot of deeper messages along with a pretty well written plot for a short story. So I'm very excited to see where this story goes. So this was a 4-star read. I'm technically still about halfway through A Girl Made of Stars. I put this down to get through the buddy reads that I was working on. So I am excited to pick this back up. I probably will pick this up maybe today. I'm feeling a little bit contemporary-ish right now, so I kind of want to get back to this. I listened all the way through P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I wrote like a really short Goodreads review with my thoughts on this. If you would like to check it out, you guys can always friend me on Goodreads or follow me on Goodreads to see what I think of books. This was 2 stars for me. Casey West, I think, is a very good introduction to YA contemporary. She's very good at the fluff. Like, her stories are always very cute and very romantic and extremely predictable, but sometimes a girl just needs that in her life. Like, sometimes you just need some fluff. So that's what this was. It was not anything amazing, but you know what? It was darn cute while I listened to it in like one sitting. So got this finished finally. It's been sitting on my shelf forever. I then started my buddy read for Ash Princess. So I am 1 section into it, so I'm like a quarter of the way in. The beginning of this was rough. It was not good. It was very info dumpy, but it started to pick up. So I'm kind of excited to read today's section and see if it like keeps going, because I've heard really good stuff about it, and the first like 20-30 pages I was like, what were these people talking about? Because this is not good. But I've gotten over the hump and I'm starting to really enjoy it so far. So I'm only like 90 pages in, so I don't have much to say yet, but so far so good. Also, since it is gorgeous out, I decided to pop in some headphones and do some barn work while it's nice before it starts storming. So I finally picked up Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie because my mom has been telling me to read this forever. It's a sci-fi book. It's like adult sci-fi, and it's won a ton of awards. Everyone who's read it just like sings its praises left and right, so I was like, okay, we're gonna finally do this. I got 3 chapters into it before my lovely shithead of a goat just ate my headphone cord. Just walked up behind me and just yanked it out of my phone and ate it. So that's how far I got in that. I got 3 chapters and no more listening for me. Now I think I need to finally bite the bullet and spend some money on Bluetooth headphones, because that's the 3rd pair of headphones that Neville has eaten. He didn't actually like eat and swallow it, he just like chomped on it and then ran away, as goats do. Apparently that's a fun game. You want to just eat some headphones. So I'm not bitter. I'm totally bitter. That's a lie. I am so bitter right now. So I'm going to probably come inside now and stop cleaning their stall out because he ate my headphones. And I'm gonna probably work on editing some videos and get those up for you, and then I will check in probably tomorrow, maybe with a final check-in, because it's into the weekend, so I like to get these up at the beginning of the week. So I'll probably do a final check-in tomorrow to let you guys know where I am in my reading. So that's gonna be it for today. Hey everyone, so doing a final check-in for this week. This was kind of a slower reading week for me. I say that, but I still finished a bunch of books. So I started the week off by listening all the way through Leah on the Offbeat. So that was 1 book done. That was a, what did I give that? 3 or 4 stars? I'm leaning more towards 4. I just really enjoyed all of the characters, and I like kind of everything about all of them. I like how quirky they are and how realistic they are and how lovable they all are. So that one, I believe, fell in at a 4-star. I then listened all the way through P.S. I Like You by Casey West, and like I said, this is a 2-star book. My thoughts haven't really changed since I talked about it last. It was fluffy and cute, but ultimately forgettable for me. I finished my buddy read for Mirage, which fell in at 4 stars. It was not the most unique YA fantasy story, but elements of this are just what made this such a better read for me. All of the cultural influence and cultural erasure that you deal with in this book is just phenomenal. So when this comes out in August, I highly recommend you guys pick this up. I also continued my way through Girl Made of Stars. I'm still at about the halfway mark. I haven't picked this up since I talked about it last because I have been doing my buddy read of Ash Princess. I am 3 sections into this. I'm about to go and sit down and read this last section, and by the time you guys are seeing this, I will be done with this book. So you'll hear my thoughts on this in the next vlog, I'm guessing, but so far it's sitting around 3 stars. Nothing about it is really standing out to me. It's a very generic YA fantasy, which is kind of a bummer, so I'm hoping that it's just setting up to be an amazing series and that this is just kind of the like setup book. And I started listening to Ancillary Justice because this has been recommended to me so many times, and I probably got maybe between a third and a halfway through this. I listened to it while I was driving out to my parents yesterday and back, and I didn't DNF it, but I'm kind of shelving it for now. I want to come back to it. I am just not in the headspace to really indulge in a very heavy political and military story, which is what this is. So far, the AI is super unique. How it's written is just unbelievably done. Like, I have so much respect for Ann Leckie as a writer, because if you guys have read this, you know what I'm talking about, but how she just puts you in the headspace of an AI that embodies multiple bodies throughout the entire course of the story and just like impulsively changes between them in, as far as the perspective goes. It was amazing to read that, and it was just so easy to follow right from the get-go. So that held my attention. The one storyline following her and the fallen officer was interesting, but all of the in-between chapters kind of lost me, and I just don't think I'm in the best mindset right now to really be able to appreciate the rest of this book, so I'm putting it back on the shelf for now. I got probably like maybe 200 pages into it, and because I'm not loving it, I want to love this, so I'm gonna put it on the shelf for now and I'll come back to it at some point. But that is 3 books completed, 2 books halfway through for this week, which is, again, a fairly average week. If you guys have been following these, that's about the pace that I read at. I usually get between 3 and 4 books done a week. So that is going to be it for this wrap up. I hope you guys are enjoying your spring so far. It's been lovely here. I'm gonna go work out for a little bit because I feel like I'm a slacker, and then I'm going to film for the rest of the day because I have so many unboxings to film for you guys. So I will see you guys in those.